Good evening and welcome to the Kim B. Davis Show. I'm your host, Kim B. Davis, and this evening I want to talk to you about mental health, especially during the holidays. Mental health is so important, and many people during this time of year struggle with anxiety and depression. And I just want to give you just a little bit of information on depression. And depression is a mental condition. It is an unending sadness. It doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're less than. You should always acknowledge how you feel. Anxiety is having the need to overthink something or constantly worrying about something. And a lot of times it's things that we can't control. There are things that are out of our power. And during the holidays, what do? We try to make everything perfect. We want to have the perfect dinner. We want to have the perfect gifts. We want to have the best presentation to our family, to ourselves, the loved ones, whoever it is that we're trying to impress. But here's what I want you to remember. There's only two people that you need to impress. First is God. Is he pleased with you? And number two is yourself. You owe no one anything, just like no one owes you anything. So if grandma decides that she's tired and she only wants to make 6 cakes and pies, grandma's okay to do that. If you decide, you know what, I cook every Christmas and I'm tired because it's been a rough year with COVID and managing virtual school and hybrid schedules and all the different things that have come up. Or if you've struggled with COVID, or if you've struggled with job loss or financial insecurity, or whatever it is, or your relationship has taken a hit, you can take a day off and do something for you. This is the time of year when we look to family and friends to celebrate, to join in, to have fun. But here's what we also can do. We can look to family and friends and loved ones to help us in our time of need. So if you're struggling to fix that meal, this is the time when you say, you know what, I think it's time for somebody else to pick up that mantle, or maybe just come help me so that I can do it. If, like a lot of people, if you're in the heartland of our nation and your home has been devastated by a tornado, you can't do anything anyway because you're trying to get your life back together. So this is a time when you reach out to family and friends and say, hey, I need some help. And maybe you don't even know what that help is. If your home has been flattened by a tornado or some other type of weather phenomenon that we have going on here in the United States, wherever you are, whether it's north, south, east, or west coast, ask for help. Ask for whatever you think you might need, no matter how big or how small. Oftentimes, as women, we struggle with anxiety and depression, and typically we struggle twice as much as men do. And African Americans, even more so than any other ethnicity. And oftentimes women will say, I just need somebody to listen to me. I wish somebody understood what I was going through. I wish I had somebody that I could lean on. Here's that time. Schedules, most people are trying to slow down. If you work in retail or restaurant, you may not be able to because this is part of your busy time of the year. But for those of you that can slow down, do that. Take a minute. Go get a cup of coffee. I prefer coffee, but if you love tea, go get a cup of tea. And if you need something a little bit stronger that you need to imbibe with, have at it. Be safe while you do it. Enjoy the people that you're with. As we've seen, we're in year 2 of COVID, and 5 million people around the world have died. We have new variants coming up every day. And I don't want to use the proverbial saying that we all say, but life is short. And I know some people will say, no, life is what you make it. And I'll say it's both. Life is short because if you don't make life anything, then life will pass you by just like that. And when you get to your deathbed, and we all have an appointment with death at some point, but for those of us who will lie in the recognition that we are getting ready to pass, when you have your family members who have succumbed to an illness and you're days away, many of them know my time is coming. And if you are one of those people who is lucky to be surrounded by friends and family and your time is coming, don't lie in that bed and think about, oh, the things that I missed out on, the things that I could have done. Do them now. Make a plan, whatever it is. If you're like me and you want to travel around the world, start thinking about it. How do I do it? Break it down into small, digestible bites. Even if it's, you know what, I live in the United States and we can't really travel the way that we like to because of COVID. But guess what? I can go see all 50 states. And maybe I've only seen 10 to 15, which is about what I've seen. Go see the rest. Go and visit. Have adventures. There's culture everywhere. Life is what you make it. This holiday season, I want each and every one of you to take the time to enjoy the people that you love, the people that you adore, the people that care for you and that you care for. This is your time. This is our time to be with those people that love us. So let us take a minute or even several days to relax, disconnect from the world's worries. Because guess what? We can't solve them, unless we all come together. And that's a whole nother conversation. But you, me, and whoever, we can disconnect. We can recharge our batteries and then come back better in the new year, ready to tackle some things. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and listening to the Kim B. Davis Show. And I hope that you will take your mental health seriously. You deserve to have a great and healthy life. And a great and healthy life is not just about having a strong physical body. In addition to having a strong physical body, it is also having a strong mind. When people say, I hope that when I am older, I am in my right mind. I have seen people who had a disease that ravaged their bodies and their minds were still fully intact and they were still sharp. However, their physical limitations, because of whatever the disease or condition were, it was devastating to watch someone be limited to in their mobility, in their speech, in the level of care that they could provide for themselves. Yet, on the other hand, I've also seen people who are strong physically, but who have struggled with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I don't know about you, but if you've never seen someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, consider yourself blessed, because there is nothing sadder than seeing someone who you have known your entire life. And I don't just mean a parent, I mean a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a friend, someone, and their mind goes. And you are trying to care for them and they fight you, or they're angry with you, or they're frustrated because they're dealing with their own fears and confusion with what's going on in their body, but they are exhibiting it outwardly. And so you have to deal with it. And I went through this with my grandmother, and it was very difficult to watch this woman who was beautiful and strong and intelligent and smart and fully capable of doing all these things, who had survived 2 strokes and cancer, she would succumb to dementia. And it's just a terrible, terrible thing. But mental health, no matter if it's depression, no matter if it's anxiety or some other mental condition, whether it requires medication, whether it requires therapy, whether it requires some alternative type of therapy or philosophy, do it. Follow your doctor's orders. You deserve to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit. I hope that this holiday season will be wonderful for you. I hope that you will enjoy the time that you have with your family and friends and loved ones. And I hope that you will take a moment to breathe yourself and to take in the moment and truly enjoy it for what it is, because life is short if you don't make it your own. Happy 2022 coming up. This has been Kimberly Batchelor Davis of The Kim B. Davis Show, wishing you a happy holiday, a happy new year, and to enjoy the holiday season. Thank you guys. You know, you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere on social media. And it's Kimberly Batchelor Davis, BATCHELOR. You can see this show at youtube.com/Kimberly Batchelor Davis. You can also listen to the show on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Stitcher. You can see more or learn more about me at kimbdavis.com as an author. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you'll join us for our next episode. And as always, remember, be magnificent.